this film, I watched it and I was very jealous because you guys filmed it in Italy. What was that like for you going out there? Did you get involved with the culture and the food?
It was just incredibly beautiful, and I think it's another character in the film in a way. And any downtime we had, even in between takes, you just kind of turn around and you're just like, this place is amazing. It's just fantastic.
Not to mention the fact that our crew was Italian and we took lots of separate breaks because there was lots of cappuccinos and a ton of pizza being served in between every time Scott said, rolling.
So Tom, let's start with you, Terry. He was incarcerated. This is now, I feel like, a rebirth for him. He's getting his second chance at life. Is this a redemption story, do we see, or is it more like a crooked redemption story?
I kind of sum Terry up as a good guy doing bad things for good reasons. But what I like about the film is the way it paces. He has to navigate each and every scene without really knowing the outcome. And playing against Cam, who, from a scene perspective, we never knew what he was going to do from take to take, which was really fun and very fun to work with because he's supposed to be a psychopath. So we really enjoyed ourselves.
Cher, you also get into the mix of things. Tell us about Sphinx because, it's a little turn at the end, a little twist that we weren't expecting with her.
To me, Sphinx has all these dimensions and she, is undercover, which lets her have these layers that at the end really take you on a path with twists and turns. You really don't know what to expect next from her, which I think is part of what I enjoyed about having this character because it allowed me to really grow with it and know that I could do anything I needed to do to get the message across and stay obviously in the role, but have fun with it. The character's a chameleon and that allows me to have a lot of depth with it.
And I feel like their relationship between Terry and Sphinx, there is some romance there, but is it like a Bonnie Clyde situation that we can see them getting into at some point?
You're going to have to watch the whole film, but basically it's pretty electric. I think that we definitely don't hate each other. That's for sure.
Yeah, even in reading the script, your character, the turn that does happen, you really never see coming at all. At all. That's really great.
Yeah. Now, I like that this kind of turns mafia movies on its head, so to speak, because you have Americans who are at the helm of it.
I think this gives a nice new twist to it, like a 2024 twist to what's happening between the fentanyl and between everything that's going on with the characters. I just think there's a life here that just expands beyond just this film, actually, because it just keeps going with this mafia tone.
Yeah, I think what Scott did is he modernized it a little bit because a lot of the films that we reference are all about the old school trying to maintain the old school mentality, where this is a version of a new school type of gangster, mafia, or whatnot. They're trying to modernize. And I think Scott did a good job of putting that in there.
I kind of chuckled. I don't know if you did, Tom, but Griff had a line where he said, "Not everyone's a fan of Superman."
Yeah.
Was that intentional? Was that just an off the cuff kind of line?
Scott is too smart to make that a mistake. I tell you that. He's way too smart for that. What I liked about how we played it is Terry just sort of kept moving on from it because I think that's a fan moment. It's not really a character moment, but I think it worked.
And now, Tom, I know you get asked this all the time. Smallville. Are we ever going to see a reunion, a reboot? I know you said there's an animated series in the works.
Yeah, Michael and I, we have all the cast wanting to do their own voices. We have Alan Miles, who wrote the original series, wanting to write it. We already have some mock-ups of the images. The thing is, I don't think this is more of a fan labor of love than it is maybe a blockbuster.
Well, potentially, if you were asked to don the Superman suit, would you be willing to do that?
I will say years ago, the answer would have been easily no. But now that my two boys are 5 and 3, I'm getting a little more open to it. For them.
Do they know you were Clark Kent? Do they know Dad was Superman?
Yeah. My sons love, it's like Halloween at my house all year. They have all these different outfits for all these different characters. And it was about, 6 months ago, I realized none of them had a Superman costume. And I asked my 5-year-old, how come you guys don't have a Superman costume? And he said, because he's taken. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, because you're Superman. And I was like, oh, it was very sweet.